Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Craig, and this is the Spirit of Vinyl. I hope you guys are all having a great week here. It's Friday, a short week for me because Monday was a holiday. But, you know, it was still work week, so what are you going to do? Enjoy yourself. It's the weekend, right? Still drinking the Ultras, still a fat bastard, so, do what you can to do, I guess. They're not bad. They're no IPAs, but, getting used to them, I guess. Anyway, hope you guys all had a great week. I'm going to continue on with the epic dumpster find. This is part 9 of that. I'm still kind of working through the hard rock type of era, and then I'm going to move on to something else a little bit. You'll see, in case you haven't noticed, I've kind of been going in alphabetical order with a lot of stuff here. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start. Let's see here. We're going to start with Ted Nugent. This is Free for All. This is 1976 OG Japanese press. Gatefold. Got the cool pics of Ted on the inside. Having a good time, it looks like. And there's the back cover of that there. Dog Eat Dog, Free for All, Hammer Down. Pretty good stuff. I was never a huge Ted Nugent fan. I like what I hear. You hear the songs on the radio or whatever. And I did get a chance to see him live a couple times back in late 80s, early 90s. I saw him headline one time, saw him as an opening act, but I've never been a huge fan. So these were the first Ted Nugent albums that I ever owned. And that's that one. Like I said, that's Free for All. Let's see here. Here's the there's the insert. Japanese. It opens up. It's got a cool picture of the band right there. Hanging out backstage. Lyrics. Yeah, that's all Japanese. There is some English lyrics right here. So, yeah, the insert was with them, and it's on Epic Records. There's that orange Epic label again. So, Ted Nugent's Free for All. Good record. Played it a couple times. There was a lot of Ted Nugent in there. I only kept 2. I kept some of the other ones for a while, but I traded them in when I did my purge here sometime last year. Here's the next one. The other one I kept. This is Scream Dream. This is from 1980. This is also Japanese press. It says in the back, featuring Wango Tango. It says right on there, Epic, the rock and roll label. Very cool. Kind of a disturbing cover with the guitars turning into his arms. This has got, there's the front of the insert. Nice picture of Ted right there. It opens up. There's all your Japanese lyrics and information, and there's all your English on the back there. And this is also on Epic Records, but this label's changed into what we kind of consider the one we all know, essentially. I mean, this one to me this Epic label is the more famous one, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I mean, this is a decent record also. I don't spin it a whole lot. All right, can't get that to go back in there. Give me a second here, guys. There we go. I don't spin them a whole lot. They're not terrible. Like I said, never been a huge fan of Ted Nugent. And the other ones I got rid of, I want to say Penetrator, and there was one other one, but I kept these 2 because they were the Japanese pressings. And the other one, whichever ones I had, I'd listen to, and I kind of enjoy these 2 a little bit more. And I don't need a whole lot of Ted Nugent in my collection. So, and they were also in mint condition. But yeah, they went in my purge last year. So, all right. Trust Man's Trap. 1984, this is a European Holland press. There's the back of that. I didn't really know this band at all. Of course, I realize now that they were the ones who sang Antisocial, which Anthrax redid. Of course, back in the day when Anthrax was doing Antisocial, I didn't know it was a remake because, I was young and stupid and had no idea that this band even existed. I don't know anything about Trust at all, other than that. I'm not sure where they're from or anything, but that's, like I said, European Holland press. There must be French, because right here, here's the inner sleeve with that. And it says down there where the fan club is, and the fan club is located in France. So I'm assuming they were a French band. And now that it makes sense, since Antisocial is in French. It's on that compilation I showed last week. Rock Machine Still Turns You On, Trust version of Antisocial, and it's in French. So, but yeah, kind of a cool pictures in here. Sort of have a, this is from '84, so they definitely have that look, but not too much, not too glam hair metal-y, more kind of like a Loverboy type of look, maybe a little bit, But, it's a great record. I do enjoy it. That I've played for a while. It's also on Epic. And I know you can't really tell with the camera because of the reflection and the shine on there, but trust me, no scuffs or anything on any of these. So yeah. And then let's move on here. Next up, Kiss Unmasked, which was found, this is a 1980 US press. This is a 72 PRC Richmond press. Here's the back cover on that. You can tell how nice it is. When I pulled this out of that dumpster, of course I already had a copy of this because I'm a Kiss fan and have been for a long time. And I told my wife, if the poster is still in here, I'm going to freak out. So, lo and behold, poster still in here. And an order form. So, I don't know if you've all seen this, but I'm opening it up. Yeah, I told her, if this poster's still in there, I'm going to freak out. And it was still in there, and I kind of freaked out. And if you can tell by the way I just unfolded it, that this poster, that might only be the third time it's ever been unfolded. You can tell, it's never been hung up. And that is from 1980. And yes, it still had, there's your merchandise form you could have ordered back then, official gear. And see, I don't have the poster in my copy anymore. Actually, my copy's hanging on the wall behind me now because I got this one. The poster I hung up on the wall as a teenager, of course, so that's gone. Didn't have this when I got my copy. Wow, you can get the latest t-shirt in an extra large for $6. Could have bought the Unmasked poster for $2.50. Yeah. You could have gotten the gold necklace for $5. Come on. Now, you can't get a poster for $2.50, and you're definitely not going to get, any of this for those prices nowadays. So, and get this out here, and the record's shiny and new, and got the cool Unmasked label on there. So I was pretty excited when I found that in there. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Going through those records, that was like the first day, and that was in there, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe the condition this thing is in. And I couldn't believe when I saw this. This is just a little insert. This is from the Elder, 1981 Japanese pressing, limited edition gatefold first pressing, according to Discogs. The Elder, this was like the insert, and it's got the Obi on the insert. When the actual album looks like this, and I have a copy of this also. There's the gatefold. This all looks pretty much the same. A little bit different though. There's your track listing on there, which is definitely not in order. Yeah, it might be in order, but my copy, my original copy of the Elder that I own, my US press is one of the first ones. Also, track listings in a different order. There's a different order on this. This is the way that tells the story. Um, it's a lot to go into. So, but yes, with the Japanese pressing, this was in front of that when they were selling that in the stores in Japan. There's the insert with that. And with the lyrics on the back. So this also does not have Escape from the Island on it, which was also removed. It's like when they first pressed it, the songs were out of order in telling the story, and some of those got out, and I have a copy of that, and the label's different and everything else, and the track listing is different, and this is the way when they did this, this is the way in the order it's supposed to go to tell the story of the boy and Mr. Blackwell and all that stuff. So there's the label on there. It says 33.1. My label on my pressing that I've had since I was in high school has the hand from the front cover on the label. It says the Elder on there, and it has the hand on there. I think there's a video, if you go back a couple years in my list, where I compare the two. So, yeah, so that was cool to get that, honestly. And then there was a copy of Animalized in here. This is a 84 US pressing. This is a 53 Hauppauge pressing, which means it was pressed in Long Island. There's the back cover of that. Have a copy of this that I've had since it came out. But of course, I don't have the inner sleeve in my original copy like this one does. There's your lyrics. There's the inner sleeve there. And mine had a skip at the beginning of side 2. This one does not have a skip at the beginning of side 2. So this is the one I play now. And both copies were exactly the same. My other copy of Animalized that I've had since then was also a 53 Hauppauge press. So I don't know how a kid in Utah ended up with the pressing from Long Island and not the ones that were pressed in California or whatever, but that's what I have. They're both the same. So that was the Kiss that came with that. And of course, I had all those already. Like I said, I'm playing the Animalize. I'm playing that unmasked because I took my other unmask and hung it on the wall. And the Elder depends on which one I'm in the mood for, because the different, I grew up listening to the copy of the Elder I had where the order of the songs is different than that one, which is the way the remasters and all of that, the way it's done now. And if you were to go stream the Elder, it's in the order of my Japanese pressing compared to my American pressing. So just depends on what mood I'm in, which one I want to play. So, and I know a lot of people don't like The Elder by Kiss, but I think it's a great album. So, all right, next up, this is Subject by Aldo Nova. This is 1983 US Carrollton Press. There's the back of that. Most people, including myself, only knew Aldo Nova for the song Fantasy. Not on this record, that is on the follow-up record. There's the inner sleeve. It's got a little fold right here. There's the back of that there. And it is on portrait. But yeah, this is a good record, and I really do enjoy it. But because it didn't have Fantasy on it, I also went out and got a copy of that. So that's the first time I've ever owned any Aldo Nova albums also. So, okay. So next up, Def Leppard On Through the Night. This is a 1980 US pressing, PRC Richmond Press. There's the back cover of that. Solid album, Rock Brigade, Hello America. Pretty good record, their debut album. I do enjoy that. And let's see, it had the insert. It's got the Def Leppard logo, the band on it, and then there's lyrics on the back. So yeah, there was that, and it's on the cool with the Mercury label with the buildings and stuff on it. Kind of nice. Very shiny, as all of them were. And there was that one, and then there was High and Dry, Japanese pressing, 1981, with the yellow obi. There were other Japanese pressings with a different color obi. There was also a black one in 1981. And then there's like blue ones that on represses and stuff, but yellow and black were the ones that came out in 81. There's the back of that. This is probably my favorite Def Leppard album. I love this freaking record, man. I was so happy when I saw this in there. And there's your insert, Japanese and English. And now label's a little different on there. And this is on Vertigo Records, where On Through the Night was not. So, but yeah, this is very cool. I really dig High and Dry. Great record. I kind of go between that and Pyromania. Which was my favorite? I guess it depends on mood. I think High and Dry is a little heavier than Pyromania, but Pyromania has all those cool songs that I grew up with. So when Def Leppard came out and Pyromania comes out and we're all into it, go back, start listening to High and Dry. You know, I had all these on cassette back in the day, went back and got High and Dry and On Through the Night, and we were huge fans. And then the accident happened, and then, you know, with Rick, and we waited years, it seems like. Then Hysteria comes out, and by then I had checked out, and Hysteria is not an album for me. By the time Hysteria came out, I'd already checked out onto other styles of music, and I really don't like that record. And I realize it's got a million hits, but that, to me, sounds nothing like High and Dry or On Through the Night or even Pyromania. So I have all three of those. The Pyromania I bought myself. Those two came in the dumpster. And that's all the Def Leppard I need. So, Helix, Walking the Razor's Edge. 1984, it says it's a European press and printed in Holland. When you go to Discogs, if it just says Europe and that's it, especially when you're looking at 87, it more than likely was printed in Holland. This has got Rock You on there, which was their big hit off of this. This is a cool record, 1984, right in the height of, that metal scene that was happening. Very cool stuff. I think they're Canadian, if I remember correctly. Mark, if you're out there, correct me if I'm wrong. And that was on Capitol Records. And yeah, weird with that one, no inner sleeve, and I'm wondering if it even came with an inner sleeve, because everything that I found in this dumpster had all the inner sleeves, all the inserts, all the posters, so the fact that there's no inner sleeve there may not have had one. So, let's see, next up, this is Icon, self-titled, 1984, Holland Press. This was a band that I was unaware of. At least I thought I was unaware of until I found this and I listened to this. I'm like, okay, I know that song, Rock On Through the Night, of course. But yeah, this is a very cool record. Same thing as like the Helix album, right in that early 80s sound. So yeah, this is very cool. You can tell by the look, definitely that era of music. And this is a great album, honestly. It really is. And also Capitol, same label as last with the rainbow on there. So yeah, so that's a good one also. I really enjoy that. And then finally for today, this is the Kicks. This is their self-titled debut, 1981 Japanese pressing. Felt like there was something in there. Apparently not. This has got Kicks Are for Kids on there. It's probably the one a lot of people would know as a Kicks fan. Never been a huge Kicks fan. I mean, would like to get Cool Kids and some other of their albums. But this album I like a lot. And this is 81. it's slightly different than what you'd hear in the end. To me, this is of a more of a post-punk new wave sound rather than that 80s quote hair metal sound. So to me, that's slightly, I don't know, their first thing, it's their debut, and maybe they kind of changed their style a little bit with the times, because this is early 80s, 81. That scene hadn't even broke yet, and this is on Atlantic Records. There's your green and orange label. But yeah, that's a really cool record. I really enjoy it a lot. Probably could look into getting some more kicks. They got some cool songs. They were a cool band. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. That's part 9. That means I got 4 more to go. So at this rate, it'll be into June before I get done doing the one a week. So I really appreciate you all watching and everything else and hanging out with me on this Friday night. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Thanks once again for stopping by. News for me anyway. Real happy. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to me recently. I hit over 400. And in January, I did that contest to try to hit 300, and here it is, almost June. And I'm at over 400. I hit over 400 last week, so that makes me happy. I appreciate that maybe what I'm saying is resonating. Some people are actually, and I know you guys are watching, you guys who watch me all the time and comment and stuff. I really appreciate that. But maybe word's getting out. I don't know. Honestly, when I started this channel, I just wanted to talk about records, and that's all I'm still doing. And glad that people are engaging. So thanks to you all. I really appreciate it. I love you all, and I will talk to you all later, man. Have a great weekend, guys.